Lena had always found comfort in the quiet of the woods. It was her escape, her sanctuary. She would take long walks, letting the rustling of the trees and the chirping of the birds calm her mind. But today, something felt different. The air was colder than usual. The branches seemed to stretch toward her like bony fingers, and the once peaceful hum of the forest was replaced by an eerie silence. She brushed it off as her imagination, blaming the exhaustion of the week. But as she walked deeper, the silence pressed in on her, making it harder to breathe. Her footsteps, once soft on the dirt path, now echoed unnervingly in the stillness. Lena reached the old cabin, a dilapidated structure that had been abandoned for years. She never used to be scared of it. It was just a forgotten relic, a part of the forest she had grown used to. But today, its dark windows seemed to watch her, the decaying wood groaning with a life of its own. Curiosity got the better of her. She stepped closer, pushing the door open with a creak. Inside, the air smelled of mildew and rotting wood. Dust particles danced in the faint light that seeped through cracks in the walls. She scanned the room, nothing out of the ordinary. But as her eyes landed on the far corner, something shifted. A shadow. It wasn't cast by the trees outside, nor by the decay of the cabin. It was darker, more solid, like a figure lurking just beyond the edge of her vision. Her heart skipped. She turned to leave, but the door slammed shut with a force that rattled her bones. The room was suddenly colder, the air thick with an unnatural weight. Lena's breath became shallow as she heard a faint whisper, barely audible, coming from the corner where the shadow had been. "Leave now." She froze. The voice was low, guttural, and laced with a warning. The shadow flickered, shifting unnaturally like it was trying to take form. Lena backed away, her pulse racing, but the room seemed to close in on her. The walls, once distant, now felt suffocatingly close. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. "Don't stay, you're not alone." A cold hand brushed her shoulder. She whipped around, but there was nothing there. Nothing except the dark, unblinking eyes of the shadow that now stood fully in the corner, its form taking shape a figure draped in tattered black cloth, its face hidden beneath a hood. "Why are you here?" Lena whispered, her voice trembling. The figure tilted its head, as if it had been waiting for her to ask that very question. Then, slowly, it raised its hand and pointed directly at her. "To keep you here forever." The last thing Lena saw before the darkness swallowed her whole was the flickering lights of the cabin fading into nothingness. The forest outside fell silent again, and no one would ever know what happened to Lena. But if you listen closely, when you pass that cabin, you might hear a faint whisper on the wind. "Leave now.